So there is some physics news, the research out about proton therapy. So if you have a tumour, currently protein therapy is available, but it's in a form that can cause a lot of damage to the surrounding tissues. So we're going to find out how it's going to be improved. So the traditional way of protein therapy would be to put the person into the machine to direct the beam very, very, very carefully onto where their tumour is. Now that in itself can present problems because if they sugar at all and the organ moves, then that proton beam could hit the wrong part of the body, so the patient has to stay incredibly still. What happens is that hydrogen atoms are split into electrons and protons, and those protons are accelerated and sent to an energy adjuster, and only the ones with the perfect energy are sent through the patient. In traditional therapy, it's when the beam slows down that most of its energy is released. So as the beam passes through normal healthy tissue, it's not releasing a lot of energy, but they time it perfectly so that when the tumour is reached, that is when the most energy is released. But that timing in itself can be quite a tricky operation. So what they've been trialling is, instead of the traditional way, using a new way called flash therapy. And what they do is they send in a higher energy, faster beam that goes right the way through the body. It enters the body, it exits the body, it doesn't stop at the tumour. And what their trials have found is that despite the higher energy, less damage is done to the tissue around the tumour, and yet you still get the same effect on the tumour. So it's worth trialling different methods. So this means that the patients actually need shorter treatments. One session may even be enough. It's a very high dose in a fraction of a second, and less damage is done to healthy tissue. So if that interested you, maybe a career in medical physics, medicine, physics research for the medical industry could be your thing. There are currently, according to cancer research, 2 proton treatment centres in the UK. Before that, people had to go abroad. It doesn't treat all cancers, and it is still in the field of research. So there's plenty of opportunities for you to explore that further.